Whenever you are living with a stoma, it's really important that you are confident and competent at identifying when and if there is a problem. So your stoma care nurse will want you to assess your stoma and your peristomal skin, and will be relying on you to come back to him or her if you do identify a problem. So how do you know if there's anything wrong? So your peristomal skin should be perfect. There shouldn't be any redness on it, there shouldn't be any broken or irritated areas. It should look exactly like the other side of your skin. So if you do develop any redness or irritation, and that can be immediately next to the stoma, it can be to the outside of the flange, it can be the whole circumference of the actual adhesive part down onto your skin. So if you identify that that is a change or a difference, really important to contact your stoma care nurse. But there are a few things that you can do to prevent that from happening. Number one would be to measure your stoma. Make sure that your pouch is exactly the right size and it fits the shape and size of your stoma. Wash and dry your skin just with ordinary water. Try not to use baby wipes unless it's an emergency, because there is a certain amount of oil within the baby wipes that can leave a residue on your skin, can prevent the bag from sticking, and then can also lead to some of these problems. So just be mindful of your routine. Just self-assess, make sure that you know exactly what you're doing and that actually meets the needs of what your stoma needs as well. In and around the stoma you can develop little lumps and bumps, and they're called granulomas, and they are generally where the stitches or the sutures would have been whenever your stoma was first formed. If you notice that you do have a little bit of blood on your tissue whenever you're washing and drying your stoma, a little bit of blood is normal. But if it's coming from these little areas of overgrowth, granulomas, they can be treated. So you can contact your stoma care nurse, and what she would do would be to treat them with a silver nitrate stick. And the idea of that is to stop the bleeding and to shrink them down to size, because sometimes they can interfere with how your pouch adheres as well. If they're not causing you any problem, you can just leave well alone. Maybe using a little, a seal or a washer. If they're actually on the circumference of the stoma and they're just going out onto your peristomal skin, what you can do is use a seal and put that down over it, and they can shrink them down as well. If you have noticed that you have a swelling around your stoma, it could be an indication that you might have a peristomal hernia. So it'd be good to go and get that checked out as well. Once again, if it's not interfering with how your pouch adheres and it's not interfering with your life, you don't have to have anything done with it. But if it is becoming more of a problem, it's really good to get it identified and checked early on, so to ensure that it is monitored over the course of the time that you do have your stoma. So as I've said, a little bit of blood on your tissue is normal whenever you're washing and drying around your stoma. But certainly if you see any blood in your pouch, if it's coming out with your bowel motion, it's really important to go to your GP, your stoma care nurse or your surgeon to ensure that you can get that checked out.